Hey everybody, what's up? It's Kendrick from Providence Tarot. So here I am again. I'm giving you another daily dose. What is this, the 19th, I believe? We're in Pisces season now. I believe I cried yesterday right before I was going to get in the shower. I was listening to a song, very Pisces, and hey, it just happened. And I was like, it must be Pisces season now. I had to look at my almanac. I mean, I have to find it to look at it to see what time. Anyway. Oh, look, the moon, right? Here we go. So this is going to be your daily dose for February 19th. See what's going on here. I hope you guys have been doing well. Shout out to people in Texas, everyone there that's suffering from, you know, the winter storm. And suffering from poor leadership as well, right? Nature is exposing all of the people that, you know, we were putting up on a pedestal that didn't deserve it. Wow. That could be on a personal level too. All right, you on level 2, right? Are we on level 2? I think we are. We might be on level 2 too. Right, we must be on level 3 here with this 3 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So that's enjoying yourself, right? Putting yourself in an environment and in a headspace that feels safe and that you identify with as safe. So that's what you're doing. You're going to what you identify with as being safe. That is actually safe, because we're not going to something that is just going to be an unhealthy distraction. This is a healthy distraction, one that is going to benefit you. Actually, it's probably not really a distraction as much as it is, you know, exploring some aspect of your personality that really needs it. You know, or nurturing some aspect of your being, your personality, your intelligence, you know, giving back to who you are, you know, like that type of thing. Let's go ahead and see what's going on with these cards. I'm gonna have to try to do this quickly, just because I know it needs to be 15 minutes for IG. Okay, so we got the 3 of Cups. That's Mercury, okay? So this is talking about Mercury being direct, right? The 3 of Cups is Cancer energy. It's the 3rd ray, right, of consciousness as well. And then it's also related to the Empress. So we're talking about being able to, you know, maintain a sense of flexibility, even under some of the emotional pressure and the stress that we're under, you know? Being able to kind of like go to a safe space actually gives us the perspective we need. It gives us the emotional perspective that we need, right? Because we're trying to connect our mind, our body, and our spirit, right? And we're trying to keep a level of like balance there as well. We're trying to balance out our emotions. So sometimes we're going to have to be called to act, right? Cancer being a cardinal sign, and Mercury being someone or being an energy that is explorative. We're going to have to be called to act and explore what the, you know, various different ways are that we can satisfy whatever the needs are that we have, right? And this is kind of like on a spiritual level, okay? Friends as well, enjoying that. You know, the King of Pentacles is talking about responsibilities, but it's also talking about someone who is actually fixed and set in their ways, you know? This could be like someone that we have an attachment to, you know? And it's like a long-lasting attachment that we might have to someone, right? It's someone that we probably feel like we, I don't know, this could even just be us and our responsibilities. We could be trying to put an immature version of ourselves to pass behind us. You know what I mean? We're putting our ego behind us too, and we're doing what we need to do, right? We're trying to be more practical. We're trying to be more health conscious here with the King of Pentacles, more financially stable as well, right? We are managing ourselves in a better way, and something has caused us to do this, you know what I mean? Current events, all kinds of things have just kind of like led us to be more consistent. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to be more consistent, and we're putting the inconsistent ways behind us. You know what I mean? And the things that we sort of like would go for, we would initiate towards in the past, we're no longer doing that, because we realize that we can serve ourselves better if we focus on what is, you know, constant, right? Start there. Right, exactly. Three of Pentacles. This is Mars being exalted in Capricorn, you know, doing the work, putting the time, the energy, the effort into it. You know what I mean? And we are sculpting, we are forging a new version of ourselves, a new way. This is kind of like so that we can keep, you know, keep our heart set on our goals, keep our mind set on our goals, you know? What did we set out to do in the first place, you know? This is talking about historical context, right? How your situation has changed. It has changed because you have actually enforced those changes. Think about how far you've gotten. Think about how far you've gotten. Think about the work that you have done. You know what I mean? No one did this. You did, right? It's here. Okay? So you have to be mindful of that. And this is the opposite of the Three of Cups, which is bringing balance to it. So you have a lot to be thankful for, you know, towards yourself. You should be appreciative of yourself, right? And this is saying that you can push yourself and that you should continue to push yourself, even if it gets hard, even if it gets challenging, even if it gets difficult, even if you've been doing it for a long time and you feel like your progress has just been a little bit. You've made some, you know, it's not going unnoticed, right? With the Three of Pentacles being here. And this is talking about an environment that is going to take a while to build. It's going to take a while to get this going, you know, but this talks about something that you definitely can achieve. It's growth. It's saying it's time to make these changes because you are capable of doing it, you know. This is a 3, and so is the Three of Cups, right? This is a sort of balance that you need in your life, right? Because it's something that's a necessity in some kind of way. It's essential. All of the 3s are essential to life just because they're related to the Empress. So this is like your career improving. This is you seeing changes there, right? You're conditioning yourself so that you can see improvements in your life, right? So this is also related to Mercury going direct. What were the reassessments? What were we thinking about? What have we seen that has changed in a year? Because the 3s are talking about a year too. Maybe 10 months, you know? Just because it's related to the Empress, she's pregnant, it's about 10 months. It's like 9 months and 3 weeks, right? Okay? And 9 and 3, what is that? 12. 3. Here we go. Right? And the 10th month is Capricorn. Here it is. Or the 10th house, I guess. I'm sorry. The 10th month is not Capricorn. It's actually December? What is it? No, I'm sorry. It's October. It's my month. Damn Julius Caesar and Augustus. Okay, so here we go. Look at the past. High Priest, which is really the Hierophant, right? And these are talking about changing your ways, right? And our ways are difficult to change because it's like we're born into our conditions, right? And we're born into our traditions, okay? And it's kind of like we have to learn from our mistakes, right? And this is related to the 5th house, which is Leo, right? So shout out to Leo, shout out to Taurus, shout out to Taurus again, and Capricorn, and shout out to Taurus again. So we're learning how to change our ways. And we're learning how to change our ways through the spiritual work that we're doing, right? Whatever it is that you're doing, spiritual work that you're doing, okay? This could be some of you getting in touch with your ancestry, all right? Or you just feeling that energy of that, you know, that ancestral vibe. And this is also you being like, you know what? I might be complaining about the changes that I want to see in other people and in the world, but what the are the changes that I can make that I want to see in me while I'm over here thinking about what I want other people to change, right? Because the change really starts with me. It starts with me. And when you realize that, that's when it's a rude awakening. That's why the fives are fierce. And that's why the Hierophant is fierce too. Because the Hierophant is anything that is a tradition or that is a conviction, right? Ways of thinking, ideals that are actually harmful because they are self-limiting. It's ignorance, all of that stuff. And it also is are the things that you are unwilling to change about yourself because hey, maybe you just have an addiction to whatever it is, right? You can have an addiction to trying to please others, right? You can have an addiction to trying, and that's the status quo too. So that's what this is too. Because it's like when you try to follow the status quo, you get lost, right? You start to burn out. You know what I mean? Because it's like, whoa, well, what is that? Like, I find at 11:11, it's like, what is the status quo? Like, I'm realizing that there is no status quo. Even with the people that I think are the status quo, they really aren't. What it's status what? It should be called status quo, you know? And in quo to me is like quotient, right? Numbers, status. What are the statistics, right? What if we sort of like, what if the diagnostics showed us, right? But we haven't gotten to the diagnostics yet because we haven't gotten to Virgo, right? This is Taurus. But this is kind of like ways about ourselves that we have now begun to change for ourselves, right? It's creating a new version of yourself because you were actually meant to change, right? What if you lived in the same house and you never moved? You wore the same clothes, nothing ever changed. You never switched grades. Like everything was meant to change. You were meant to change. You were meant to realize certain things at certain points in your life that made you pull away from those like self-defeating and self-limiting ways of the past. Maybe the conditions that you were born into, maybe that societal things, status quo, right? Again, taught you something that no one else did, but you were just seeing it with your own eyes and it was ingrained in your own head, right? And then maybe it made you behave a certain way because you thought you had to be this way, or you thought you had to have that, or you thought you had to be seen a certain way by other people that you wanted to be like. I don't know why. Because they're going through it too. We all are. Okay? It's true. And I'm going to have to do a part two. That's just what it is. I'm good. Right. Y'all better work with this reading today. I was going to do proofreads, but this is where it's at. Y'all coming with me on the Chariot. Okay? So this is moving forward. This is getting control of a situation because you are learning, and the 7th house, right, is connected to the 10th house only because Saturn is exalted in the 7th house, but it rules the 10th house, which is Capricorn. And that is opposite what? Cancer, which is the Chariot. So we're talking about balance being achieved by moving forward, okay? The 7th house rules the kidneys and it also rules the hips. So we're balancing, we're processing. We're processing, we're balancing. We're processing as we're moving forward. We're putting one foot in front of the other. We're actually gaining ground. We're looking on the horizon and we can see what we're moving towards. This is an opportunity. This is, where luck meets chance and opportunity, and we make a decision to move and go and have something happen. The Chariot is that. It's facing your fears, right? It's not having any fears. What is fear? It's feeling victorious. That's what it is. Right? Fear can fear you. Back to you. All right, so here we go. We're going to look in the moon position. Leaving something behind, definitely. You've learned from your old ways, right? Change of perspective, change of direction, right? Identifying with a new, more mature version of, you know, who you are. This is like you've done a lot of exploring all of the different, I don't know, experiences, you know, the realities within your situation. This is outgrowing, you know, your situation, right? It's kind of like I'm forced to outgrow this situation. I just want to think about something else. Finally, I want to be thinking about something else. I want something new, you know. I'm definitely trying to change focus for a good reason. I need something that's going to project some light into my life. I think I said that at 111. But that's what this is, you know. It's saying you're going to make it to the other side of the situation whether you think so or not. You know what I mean? This also is talking about some level of naivety that someone could be experiencing emotionally, right? And with themselves, right? I want you to stop identifying with the naivety. You know, you are no longer a child. That's what this says, right? And emotionally, you're no longer a child, but you identify with that child still, even though you're older, right? Because this is talking about the memories that are still attached. These are the impressions in your mind. You know what I mean? So yeah, you're still there in that way, but this is saying like that doesn't have to mean what it meant then to you, because what it meant to you then had the identity of the situation changed, the identity of the circumstance changed, the design of it in your mind changed as time moved forward and as you got older. So now you kind of like have that change of perspective and it's different now. So you can say, okay, I accept certain things, you know, because I was disillusioned too. I just didn't know enough. I wasn't old enough, right? But part of you knew something, you know. We do have a sense of intellect about us when we're young enough. We're young. Sometimes we're still old enough to know when we're young, right? Especially when you are like a child dealing with adults, but you're more of like a mature child, right? So you understand relational concepts, okay? And of empathy, of compassion, of right and wrong, you know? You understand insecurity sometimes before people know that you do when you're a child. So then you understand what other people's insecurities are, but you're not able to speak on them because you're just a child and you don't want to speak out of turn and all of this stuff. And now you've had to remain quiet for so long about some things and you had to put the things in the back and now they're up here and you're realizing how they've just kept you limited and stuck in a box and stuck in one place. And you're like, whoa. Joey Lawrence. Hopes and fears that you can get over it, right? But that's cool because you got the High Priestess in the past and the Five of Cups here. This is kind of like, I gotta get the Lord names of these cards written down, and I'm gonna have to look that up today because like I always want to refer to that, and I just never remember because I never wrote them down. But I know there's like the Lord of this and the Lord of that for all of the cards, and this is the Lord of Ruin, I believe. But these are both sort of like related to each other. So this is kind of like how you, like I said, the emotional connections, right? And the way that you identified with your emotions back then with the situation or circumstance, right? Or whatever the unfolding was, it's different. It's changed. It's changed. And that's what this talks about too. This talks about, oh, you'll get over it. They'll get over it. We'll get over it. Individually, right? Because it's the fives are something that you have to deal with on your own. So are the tens, because they're reduced to a 1, right? You know, I could have an experience with somebody, but at the end of the day, my memories are my memories. I'm not going to recall it the same way that they recall it, just because I'm not them. Two sides to every story. There's a beginning and an end, too. How did it start? Okay, now how did it finish? How did it end? Right? And everything in between. Okay, and this is saying some people are like justified just because, you know, this has a lot to do with contracts and like meaning. You know, so this has a meaning. The feelings, the hurt, the pain, what you felt and what you learned from that has a meaning. Not just, they hurt me, oh, how could they do? Ooh. You know, I went through that for the first day of Pisces season. I was like, listening to the song Hope Taller, by the way, both of her EPs. Sensitive Soul is the one that, well, you know, really great. I was walking down the street in the East Village the other day, and I heard them playing it at like one of the outside dining areas, and I was like, oh my God, this song I know it and I love it. So I had to come back and listen to it the next day. And then I was like, boo-hoo, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. Because I was just like, damn them for treating me like that. Damn the situation for turning out and unfolding the way that it did. Damn the situation for, you know, me feeling the way that I did about whatever went down or whatever was happening, whatever I expected, whatever I had hoped. And it was just because sometimes the things that we bring that give us pleasure, give us hope, and that hope gives us these expectations sometimes. And that's dangerous. Venus is a dangerous planet. We've never even visited. I mean, maybe we've sent something there, but we definitely haven't we're not thinking of landing on there. We're more likely to land on Mars before Venus. Right? So this is kind of like emotional discomfort, right? This is also feeling betrayed by love, betrayed by circumstance, betrayed by just like the energies, or not even that, but, you know, feeling betrayed by life sometimes, feeling let down, you know, and this also has that feeling of like being cursed, right? So it's like, I'll never have, right? Because this is a 5, so they're all related to Taurus, which is talking about I have, right? I'll never have. Actually, no, that's a lie. You're limiting yourself. You're limiting yourself. You're going to put all that into that one thing? That one person? Really? Wow. Especially when it turned out the way it did. All right, you know, you need to focus on what you have been working on, right? Because there have been some improvements that have been happening. Shout out to Sun in Virgo, right? Because that's what this is, Sun in Virgo. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, you know, this is saying like putting all of your energy, right, and all of your strength in your work. And also feeling, you know, confident about your work, okay? Encouraged, right? The courage to do your work. I don't care how you feel sometimes. Sometimes it's like, you know, when you don't feel like doing the thing that you have to do, it's doing that very thing that is what you ought to do, or something like that. I forget what the quote is, but it's a quote, right? And whatever it is that you fear doing, do it. This is some kind of like craft that you feel, right? Because it's an 8, feel, 8th house, that you have the power to manage, assert, handle, right? These are gifts and these are talents that are being put to use and not put to waste. Okay? This is being resourceful. So make sure that you're saving money. Make sure that you're managing your money. Make sure that you're managing like the resources and the tools that you have. Food, not wasting that, you know? And I know that a lot of this here has to do with some people that might be suffering from some things that they can't control, right? And this is saying like this is going to turn around pretty soon, just because the 10 of Swords is spoken to quick, immediate results, right? It's been through a lot, but now the results are going to be coming in. especially with the Chariot, right? This is talking about victory, right? And this is also like something coming to the rescue, right? Because think of a mother that's running to go rescue or save, right? That type of thing. But there's still the hurt here. There's still the experience that you had, right? So we're moving forward and things are improving, right? And resources are coming in, okay? We're being encouraged from the resources coming in. Right, here we go. Four of Pentacles, definitely. Related to the King of Pentacles, which was the first card that came up. Okay, bam, bam. Bringing pleasure back to some people's reality or getting comfort back. Some people are getting comfort back, right? In some kind of way. There could be some kind of money that's coming in for some people, right? Like all of a sudden, it's a change of focus with finances and money and how things are being like handled. Because this is Capricorn, and Capricorn is talking about economy and governmental, financial rollouts and things like that, right? Or things that only like the government are capable of doing, especially with this too, because this has to do with the person who has all of the resources that and is in charge, and how they assert those resources and put them to use, right, for other people, right? Because that's also Capricorn. If you got all this money, you have all this power, how are you using it to make a change, right? And that's saying that this is happening. So I have that for a lot of people is improving, so that's good. All right, let's go ahead and see what else is going on, right? Some of you guys are worried about some things, you know. Don't do the self-fulfilling prophecies, right? You know, you want to think positive thoughts. Don't put power into the thoughts that you don't want to happen, and stop saying the things that you don't want to happen. You know, stop putting yourself down too. You know, you're discouraging yourself here with the Eight of Swords rather than encouraging yourself. Please just understand that, like, sometimes, you know, it's all in the way that you manage your thoughts, right? And sometimes it's like, it's going to get you at your weakest points. It's going to feel like it's getting you at your weakest points, but it's how you manage them and it's how you come out of it. You know what I mean? Princess of Cups, Page of Cups, an announcement, maybe the introduction to a new solution. You know, this is a remedy in some kind of way, just because it's related to Saturn. All of the pages and the princesses are. So this is kind of like a remedy to the situation or to the problem. You know, a remedy to the sadness. Sunshine, blue skies, right? So this is a shift in the energy, okay? This is you feeling grateful, okay? This is a humbling type of energy. I'm just glad to have this. I'm glad to get this. I'm just feeling good because at least this, you know? That's what I feel like. It's not a complacent card here. So now we got another page, which is complementing the Page of Cups. We got the Princess of Pentacles. So this is like, you know, a new reality shift. A shift in your reality, a change, something that can actually be beneficial or useful to you in some kind of way. Maybe you can, you know, you can put this towards something, right? Any help is, you know, greatly appreciated. This is also some of you getting your hands on something that you've needed. Some of you might even be finding money in clothes or something like that. But, you know, this is also like double earth. So something is definitely paying off in a real way. You know, it's not air and earth, it's not da-da-da, it's earth, double earth. You know, this is one of the only double earth cards rather than maybe, I don't know, Saturn and Taurus, which is like the Seven of Pentacles. But this is most certainly a card that says things are improving. All right, work, Amethyst. Like, share, and subscribe. Comment on the video. Follow me on Instagram. It's Providence Tarot. And also subscribe to the YouTube page. It's also NYC Kendrick on IG. That's my personal account. Sorry. Well, bye.